The dog breed your child needs might shock every parent watching this. Every year, millions of parents choose a puppy based on photos, color, and size, never realizing the real decision happens somewhere deeper. Somewhere science is only beginning to understand. Behind every perfect family dog list lies a quieter truth. Temperament isn't random. It's wired by centuries of breeding decisions humans made for reasons we forgot long ago. Some breeds calm a child's nervous system just by lying beside them. Others sense a toddler's fear before the parent even notices it. This isn't luck, it's biology. Researchers studying canine cognition have found something unsettling. Certain breeds appear almost built to detect human emotional states, especially in children, faster than adult dogs typically do. If you've ever wondered why your child sleeps better with the dog nearby, or why one breed seems to just get your kid, the answer is more profound than you think. Animal behaviorists have spent decades mapping what's sometimes called the canine emotional radar, the ability of dogs to detect micro-changes in a child's heartbeat, breathing, and posture. Evolutionary biologists believe this sensitivity isn't accidental. Thousands of years of selective breeding shaped certain temperaments to be patient, alert, and emotionally responsive around vulnerable, smaller humans. Neuroscience adds another layer. When a child interacts with a gentle, attuned dog, oxytocin rises in both species simultaneously, creating a quiet biological loop of trust and calm. Research on attachment also shows dogs bred for cooperative work herding, retrieving, companionship tend to display stronger, checking-in behavior, instinctively watching a child's emotional cues. This isn't simple anthropomorphism, it's measurable. Heart rate variability, cortisol levels, and behavioral mirroring all shift when a child bonds with a breed wired for emotional sensitivity. So the real question isn't which breed looks friendliest, it's which breed's nervous system was shaped, generation after generation, to protect a child's emotional world. Most parents pick the Labrador Retriever because it's the classic family dog, a friendly face, a wagging tail, easy to picture in every storybook. But that reputation hides the real reason breeders shaped this dog, not friendliness alone, but an unusually high tolerance for chaos, noise, and unpredictable movement. Labradors were bred to work calmly beside humans for hours, which wired their brains for patience under stimulation, exactly what a toddler's unpredictable energy demands. That patience isn't passive, it's active emotional regulation, meaning your Labrador isn't just tolerating your child, it's quietly absorbing their energy to keep them both calm. Golden Retrievers are often chosen for their soft coats and gentle eyes, as if appearance alone explains why they suit children so well. The misunderstanding is believing softness equals submission. In truth, Golden Retrievers were bred for cooperative retrieving, requiring constant emotional attunement to a human partner's mood. That cooperative instinct translates directly into childhood bonds, the breed reads. Frustration, sadness, or excitement quickly, adjusting its own behavior to match the child's state. This means your Golden isn't simply nice. It's emotionally synchronized, mirroring your child's feelings in real time, almost like a living emotional thermostat in the house. Parents often choose beagles for their small size and comedic curiosity, assuming a smaller dog means a simpler, lower-stakes companion for kids. But size has nothing to do with their emotional value. Beagles were bred for scent tracking in packs, which built unusually strong social bonding instincts over generations. Pack-oriented breeding means beagles instinctively treat children as members of their social unit, monitoring their location and well-being, almost like an internal compass. That instinct shows up as devotion disguised as mischief. A beagle following your child everywhere isn't nosiness, it's an ancient loyalty wired into its blood. Newfoundlands get chosen for their massive, gentle presence, often nicknamed nanny dogs, without most parents really knowing why that title exists. It's easy to assume their calm size alone makes them safe, but the real story is rooted in centuries of breeding for water rescue instincts. Rescue-driven breeding created a powerful protective reflex. Newfoundlands are biologically wired to monitor distress signals, especially near water, sudden motion, or sharp noise. Around children, that rescue instinct becomes quiet guardianship, an animal whose entire genetic history says, when something feels wrong, intervene gently, immediately, without hesitation. Collies are often picked for their elegant look and herding heritage, something many parents associate loosely with smart and obedient. But herding intelligence isn't about obedience, it's about constant environmental awareness, tracking every moving creature in a space, including small, unpredictable children. That awareness means collies subconsciously herd kids away from danger, repositioning themselves near doors, stairs, or open spaces without ever being trained to do so. It's not control, it's protective vigilance, an instinct from generations of guiding vulnerable animals safely, now quietly redirected toward your own child. Poodles are frequently chosen for hypoallergenic coats and a sophisticated look, often dismissed as more decorative than emotionally present. That assumption couldn't be further from the truth. Poodles were originally bred as highly intelligent retrieving and performance dogs, requiring constant human collaboration. This collaborative breeding created exceptional emotional responsiveness. Poodles read tone of voice, facial expression, and body language with remarkable precision around children. Underneath the elegant exterior is a deeply attentive partner, one whose intelligence translates into emotional fluency rather than simple obedience or tricks. Bulldogs are often chosen for their wrinkled, comedic appearance, seen mostly as a low-energy, easygoing choice for busy households. But their calmness isn't laziness, it's a temperament shaped by selective breeding away from aggression, prioritizing tolerance and steady emotional presence instead. That steadiness creates a grounding effect for children, especially anxious or sensory-sensitive kids who need predictable, unhurried companionship rather than constant excitement. A bulldog's stillness becomes emotional, anchoring a quiet, dependable presence a child can return to when their own world feels too loud. Irish setters are usually chosen for their striking red coats, often seen as more of a beautiful accessory than an emotional companion. That overlooks their hunting heritage entirely. Setters were bred to work in tight partnership with humans, requiring sustained attentiveness and emotional patience. This partnership instinct makes them remarkably playful yet emotionally tuned, adjusting their high energy to match a child's mood rather than overwhelming it. Beneath the elegant coat is a dog wired to read and respond to a smaller partner's needs, playful when invited, gentle when not. Cavalier King Charles Spaniels are often picked for being small, cuddly lapdogs, assumed to be more decorative companions than emotionally significant ones. That assumption misses their entire breeding purpose, companionship itself. These dogs were bred for centuries purely to stay emotionally close to humans. Centuries of companionship breeding created intense attachment sensitivity, meaning cavaliers often mirror a child's emotional state almost immediately, seeking closeness during distress. This isn't neediness, it's specialized emotional architecture, a breed engineered across generations for one purpose: staying present through every human feeling. Boxers get chosen for their playful, goofy energy, often labeled as great with kids, simply because they seem fun and active. But playfulness alone misses the deeper trait. Boxers were bred for guarding and working roles, requiring sharp emotional discernment between threat and safety. That discernment means boxers quickly distinguish rough play from real danger, often softening their massive strength, instinctively, the moment a child seems vulnerable. Their energy isn't chaos, it's controlled protection, a powerful body paired with surprising emotional precision around the children they consider family. Vizslas are often chosen for their sleek look and athletic build, assumed to suit active families purely for exercise compatibility. That overlooks their breeding as close-range hunting partners. Dogs develop to stay physically and emotionally attached to a single human almost constantly. This intense attachment translates into children receiving near-constant emotional shadowing, a Vizsla instinctively positioning itself wherever the child's attention or mood shifts. It isn't clinginess, it's devotion encoded through generations of partnership, a breed that quite literally cannot separate closeness from purpose. Cocker Spaniels are frequently chosen for their soft expressions and gentle reputation, often described simply as sweet family dogs, without much further thought. That description undersells their breeding history as sensitive retrieving companions, dogs selected specifically for emotional responsiveness to subtle human cues. This sensitivity means Cocker Spaniels often detect a child's sadness or excitement before words are spoken, responding through closeness rather than noise. Their gentleness isn't passive sweetness, it's an evolved emotional sensitivity, quietly tuned to comfort children precisely when comfort matters most. German Shepherds are frequently chosen for their intelligence and trainability, often framed simply as obedient dogs that follow commands well around a household. That framing misses the deeper purpose behind their breeding, working partnership roles that demanded constant reading of a human's stress, intention, and emotional shifts in real time. This vigilance translates into children receiving an almost silent guardian, a dog that positions itself near a child during unfamiliar situations without ever being told to. That isn't trained behavior alone, it's inherited emotional surveillance, a temperament shaped to notice distress early and respond with calm, steady protection rather than panic. Bernese mountain dogs are often chosen for their striking coats and gentle giant reputation, assumed to be calm simply because of their large, sturdy frame. That overlooks their farm working history, where these dogs needed patience around children, livestock, and unpredictable activity for hours without losing emotional steadiness. This patient breeding created a remarkably tolerant nervous system, one that absorbs a child's noise, clumsiness, and sudden movement without flinching or withdrawing affection. Their size isn't the source of safety. People assume it is. Their emotional steadiness is, a calmness cultivated across generations of close human cooperation. Across every one of these breeds, one thread repeats. Dogs aren't just present with children, they're emotionally synchronized, shaped by history to feel what kids feel. That synchronization builds something rare in modern life: unconditional emotional safety. A child doesn't need to explain their feelings to a dog. The dog already senses them. This is why children often confide in dogs before parents, why a bad day softens the moment a paw rests against a small hand without a single word. Trust like this isn't taught. It's inherited through generations of selective breeding, refined until certain dogs became biologically tuned instruments of comfort and loyalty. And loyalty, in this context, isn't simple obedience. It's a nervous system wired to prioritize your child's emotional state above almost everything else around it. That's the quiet miracle hiding inside every family dog. Not just companionship, but a living, breathing, emotional mirror standing guard beside your child. It also explains why grief, fear, and joy in a household rarely go unnoticed by the family dog. They aren't reacting to chaos, they're reacting to your child, specifically. Once you see this, you can't go back to thinking of breed choice as simply aesthetic. Every wag, every nudge, every quiet presence carries inherited emotional intention. You stop being just an owner and start becoming someone who understands the invisible architecture beneath your dog's behavior, instinct, history, and emotional design intertwined. That shift changes how you watch your child and your dog together. Their bond isn't accidental. It's the product of centuries of biological collaboration between two species. And realizing that adds a strange kind of responsibility to protect, nurture, and honor, a relationship far older and deeper than most people ever stop to notice. So the next time your dog rests its head on your child's lap, remember that's not random affection. That's evolution, quietly doing exactly what it was shaped to do. Somewhere between instinct and emotion, a bond formed long before either of them was born, waiting patiently to be recognized in your own living room. Whatever breed sits beside your child tonight, know that its calmness, its watchfulness, its closeness were never accidents. They were written long before you ever met. Maybe the real lesson isn't about choosing the best breed for kids, but understanding the depth already living quietly beside your child every single day. If this changed how you see your own dog, stay close. There's so much more hidden in their behavior, still waiting to be understood together.